The xenobiology lecture hall fell into absolute silence as the containment field flickered and died. Professor Kethvar's 4 eyes widened in horror as the massive creature within began to stir, its chitinous exoskeleton gleaming under the artificial lights. The Vorkanian Death-Stalker, all 12 feet of segmented nightmare, uncoiled itself from its dormant position. 23 students from across the Galactic Federation sat frozen in their seats. The Zephyrian twins clutched each other with their translucent arms. The rock-like Gravani student's crystalline surface dimmed to nearly black. Even the usually fearless Kytherian warrior scholar had backed against the far wall, her 6 limbs trembling. Only one being in the room seemed unaffected by the presence of the galaxy's most feared predator. "Oh wow," Marcus Rodriguez breathed, his human eyes lighting up with genuine excitement. "It's even more beautiful than the hull of it showed." The Death-Stalker's compound eyes, each the size of dinner plates, swiveled toward the sound. Its mandibles clicked ominously as it took a step forward, razor-sharp talons scraping against the metal floor. The creature's bioluminescent patches pulsed in what every xenobiologist knew was the precursor to an attack pattern. "Nobody move," Professor Kethvar whispered, his voice barely audible through his translation matrix. Death-Stalkers respond to motion and elevated stress hormones. "If we remain perfectly still. Can I pet it?" Marcus asked, already standing up. The collective intake of breath from 23 different respiratory systems created a sound like a deflating space station. Professor Kethvar's primary heart stopped beating entirely. "Human Marcus, no," the professor hissed. "That creature has acid for blood, neurotoxic spines, and can move faster than a photon torpedo. One touch and you'll be dissolved from the inside out." But Marcus was already walking down the aisle, his movements slow and deliberate. The Death-Stalker's massive head tracked his progress, its bioluminescent patches shifting from aggressive red to a curious amber pattern none of them had ever seen documented. "Easy there, beautiful," Marcus said softly, his voice taking on the same tone he'd use with a nervous dog back on Earth. "Nobody's going to hurt you. You're just scared, aren't you? Woke up in a strange place with all these weird smells." The creature's mandibles stopped clicking. Its massive form lowered slightly, bringing its head closer to Marcus's level. The amber glow intensified. "That's impossible," whispered Lyra Vex, the Andromedan student whose species had lost 3 colonies to Death-Stalker swarms. "They don't have the neural pathways for curiosity or social bonding." Marcus had reached the front of the classroom now, standing just outside what should have been the creature's kill radius. Slowly, carefully, he extended his hand palm up toward the massive predator. "We had creatures like you on Earth once," he said conversationally. "Called them arthropods. Lobsters, crabs, spiders. Most people were afraid of them too, but they were just trying to survive like everything else." The Death-Stalker's head tilted, actually tilted, in a gesture that looked remarkably like curiosity. One of its smaller manipulator arms extended toward Marcus's outstretched hand. "Humans," Professor Kethvar muttered, his 3 hearts now beating in an erratic rhythm of disbelief. "They pet venomous snakes on their homeworld. They keep creatures called cats that are perfectly capable of killing them. They form emotional bonds with apex predators." The Death-Stalker's manipulator arm made contact with Marcus's palm. Instead of the expected screams and dissolution, there was only a gentle touch, almost careful, as if the creature understood how fragile this small being was. "Good girl," Marcus said, and somehow, impossibly, the Death-Stalker's bioluminescent patches shifted to a soft blue glow that radiated contentment. The rest of the class remained frozen, not in terror now, but in amazement. They were witnessing something that would rewrite xenobiology textbooks across the galaxy, first peaceful contact between a Death-Stalker and any sentient species. "Humans," Lyra Vex said finally, her voice filled with wonder and exasperation, "are absolutely insane." Marcus grinned, still gently stroking the creature's chitinous surface. "We prefer optimistically curious." The Death-Stalker purred. Actually purred, a sound like distant thunder mixed with contentment.